Hello everyone, once again I'm back. This video I'm going to talk about customer service and logistics. So why customer service? Now, as we keep on telling, I keep on telling you guys that there is 5 R's, okay? And bringing the product right to the right customer, right to the right time, right at the right place, at the right cost, provides good customer service. If you're able to do the 5 R's and the product reaches into the customer at the right time, they will be happy. And that's part of the customer service. Because what we always make sure in marketing is that to make our customers happy. It's not just because of the product alone, but it is because of the other services. And distribution is part of the service. Okay? Now, looking at this, now what are the things that we could probably consider, when we talk about customer service and logistics, right? So, how to remember this? Remember the 5 R. Okay? So, remember the 5 R. I would like give me some, let me give you some idea at how to handle customer. Like as a marketing people, you have to handle your customer properly. Okay? Now, one of the most important thing to consider in customer service is respect. When the customers call and complain about the delivery, when the customers call and complain about the distribution that you have, respect the idea. Okay? Do not just tell the customer that, hey, it's not easy to deliver. Hey, it's difficult to deliver in your area because you have a very narrow streets and the traffic is so much. So, no, it's not like that one. Now, if the customer says that I want to receive it at this time, but your people isn't that here already and not here for now, so respect the idea. Okay, not to become more apologetic, but just accept whatever the customer says, like saying like, ma'am, we understand the concern. Okay, but no worry, no worry about it. We're going to give a priority into it. I maybe we know it's late, but rest assured that the product will arrive today. No, it's like you are not arguing with them. You are just confirming that it's so frustrating. We understand the situation, ma'am. As a customer like you, I may feel the same. In as much that we really wanted to deliver the item right there and then, I hope that you also understand, the locations and the traffic. Maybe it's because of that one. But rest assured, I have to call the truck. I have to call my people and try to make sure that the product will be delivered. So it's like respect is very important in customer service. And then patience. A lot of customers, especially when you're working in a logistics in a logistic department, and especially in a distribution, if you're a distribution manager, expect na yan. Saan mo yung mura? So many. There's a lot of bad words that you will feel if you were not able to deliver right there at the right time. So 5 R. Right time, right place, right product, right cost, as we mentioned, and right customer. Okay? What do you mean, sir, by right customer? It's just like, maybe you're quite familiar with it. It's like if the product is intended for customer A, deliver it to customer A. Not the product of customer B, go to customer A. So you have to be very careful about it. But that sometimes it happens. And if that happens and the customers get angry, be patient. Okay? Respect whatever they say. It's not just because you're the owner. It's not just because you're the manager. You're not going to accept it. Remember, that's a customer. So you have to be patient. Okay? Self-control, attentiveness. Ito yung sinasabi natin, listen carefully. Active listening. So what is this active listening? It's like it's not just like you just hold the microphone. I mean the telephone and just listen. No, just provide like a verbal nod of it. It's like okay, I understand. It's something like that. Okay, don't worry, ma'am. So it's like that. It's not just that you kept like on the other end, nanahimik ka na lang. It's not like that. Okay, so that's attentiveness. Try to confirm. Don't worry, ma'am. We'll get back to you on this. I understand that you have this order. You have the order this one. You expect it to arrive at this time, but still our truck is not there. But no worry, I assure you that it's in the truck. It might probably be some scenarios might have happened. But rest assured, we'll get in touch with them. Okay, so that's actually talking about customer service. Respect, patience, have control with your self-control, listen attentively to the customer, and provide empathy. Okay, do not say sorry because you're accepting your mistake, and that's not your mistake. That's not your problem. There might be something happen along the way. So what is this empathy? It's just like putting the shoes, sabi nga nila, into the head of others. Like saying, ma'am, I understand. As a customer like you, I feel what you feel. You have me there. Okay? And don't worry. Okay? I will personally get in touch with this. So it's like, that's empathy. You're assuring them, you're giving assurance, and you're telling the customer that, hey, I'm a customer like you, and I feel the same thing what you have right now. Kaysa mo ako, in such a way. Okay? So that's how you handle customer service. Okay? Now, the communication skills that was being mentioned, it's not that you have to be very good in English. It's like the conversational one or whatever. You can communicate in Tagalog because we are here in the Philippines. But if the customer, like, you're working abroad, something like that, maybe communication skills that is being mentioned here is not about how good you are in talking to a customer, but this also includes on how good you are in handling some situation, some difficult situation. Okay, how you make a negative aspect into a positive one, something like that. Okay, so now customers distribution and customer service or logistics, right? Now so much for that. That's what we call about customer service. Okay, and now we'll talk about supply chain solutions, so what we call a supply chain management. So let me give you an overview. We talk about supply chain. So as I've mentioned in my first video, so here's the supplier, then here's the company, then here's the customer. So the supplier now brings the raw materials to the company. So what's the job of the supply chain manager? The job of supply chain manager is to look for a very reliable supplier. It starts from there. Looking for reliable suppliers. So that's a supply chain manager's job. During my time with Nestle as head of the supply chain management, I always ensure that the raw materials that comes into the warehouse is definitely the right raw materials to produce the product. Because if not, then you'll be having problem. Okay, you'll be having problem in how are you going to develop or produce product with the wrong raw materials. So that's the job of a supply chain manager. Someday, you marketing students, that's one of your job. You can apply for logistic positions. It's either as a manager, as a supervisor, or a warehouse manager, or a distribution manager someday. Okay, now do not forget that if you were placed into a supply chain as a supply chain head or head of the supply chain management, so this means you are handling the entire operations from the supplier to manufacturing to distributions to the customer, which includes customer service. Okay, so it's not just about we talk about logistics. It's not just about here inside the company. Now, to give you a better picture, this is how it goes. So if you have like 3 big pictures, circles, one big one, then there's another one inside, there's another one inside. Distribution is the smallest part. And then the next to it is the logistics, which is the movement of the products, the production, the inquiry of raw materials and the production. And the biggest picture is the supply chain, which includes the supplier and the customer. So hawak niya lahat yan. So that's what's the difference between the 3? Supply chain, logistics, and distribution. So the logistics, it's a movement of raw materials and finished products within the company. From it's delivered by the supplier, logistic manager will start its job. And then from there, it goes to the manufacturing, still the logistic manager. Then it goes to the warehouse, still job of the logistic manager. Then from the warehouse, going to the customer, now the distribution manager will takes to it. Sir, mayroon bang kaso na the distribution manager, logistic manager is just one? Yes, there is. May mga ganon. The logistic manager will function as a distribution manager as well. In some small companies, but most big companies, they have separate job. Okay, because of course you can handle like millions of like product being distributed. Okay, all right. So next we have we call it the integrated supply chain. So we talk about the integrated supply chain, which means you as a supply chain manager will definitely not just communicating with your supplier, but you also communicating with your customer, and you are communicating with your distributor or your retailers. Okay? And of course, the warehouse officers. So if you try to look at the picture, kung ako yung head, o ako yung supply chain head, hawak ko lahat yon. I'm working with all of you guys, and I want my job is to ensure that raw materials comes in at the right time, the right raw materials, and the product will comes into the end of the customer at the right time as well. So that's my job. Now, whatever in between, that's my concern. But here in this subject, my concern is just looking at the distribution manager, how my product gets into the customer's hand. It's either I have to decide as a supply chain head, I have to decide if we need to have a distributor or not. Okay? So I'm working hand in hand and closely with the marketing department. If they will not be able, to touch the entire market. So for example, Metro Manila, hirap na hirap sila, then we can have a distributor. Pag hindi mo na kaya yung Mindanao area kasi malaki expenses, then we can have distributor. Just to give you an example, Nestle Philippines, when it comes to ice cream, it's not being distributed by Nestle Philippines. It's distributed by its distributor. Okay? So, same with Procter & Gamble, same with Unilever, same with Universal Robina. If you try to look at it, Alaska Corporations, if you try to look at it, Procter & Gamble as well, they have distributors. So, what's the good thing with it? So, they are not paying for the salespeople. Okay? What they have right now is just a distribution manager. So the distribution manager will handle the distributor. And Procter & Gamble, say for example, Unilever Philippines will just give the product to their distributor. Then they have to provide discount. And that discounts, that's where the distributor gets income. Because say for example, if Procter & Gamble provides 30% discount to the distributor will give like 20% discount to the retailer. The 10% is for him. And that 10%, 5% will be for the operation expense, and that 5% will be his income. Sir, parang liit 10%. No, we're talking about millions. Okay? We're talking about millions in terms of product concern. Benta nitong pinag-usapan milyones, no? And then the distributor also will get like 20%, and then 10% will be used for its people. And the other 10% for the other operations, 5% lang din yung mapupunta sa kanya. So it depends on how much is being given. So that's how good when it comes to distribution. So wala na po silang sariling truck, no? Kasi what happened is like when you own your own truck, you have to pay for your people, you have to pay for the insurance, you have to pay for the benefits, you have to pay for the maintenance, and a lot. Remove that. Give it to the distributor. And now the distributor will be the one to manage their own truck, to manage their own people, on how to do it. Okay, one of the biggest distributor here in the Philippines, this is Soysing. If you know Soysing, if you live in Laguna, and then you can just check that one. Soysing is in the area of Parañaque. So that's what distribution process is. Okay, all right. So then let's try to again connect what is distribution and this so-called customer service. So the purpose of having a distributor is to spread the product immediately. Because if you are just the one, I am the company and I don't have a distributor, so I will be the one to go to each of my customers to distribute my product. But since I have the distributor, so I just go to the distributor, and the distributor will spread the product. Say for example, I'm a manufacturer and I'm here in Manila, and then I have customers in North Luzon, I have customers in South Luzon and in Central Luzon. Then if I don't have a distributor, I'll be the one to go there. As my people, I have sales people, I have a driver and everything to go to the area. But if I have a distributor, I only control 3 people, three different companies. I have a distributor in North Luzon, South Luzon, and Central Luzon. I just have to talk to them, and they are responsible talking to the customers around. So that's the functions of a distributor, a wholesaler in such a thing. Okay. Now, sir, is the distributor sending product to the reseller? It depends on the distributor's process. If he want to go to the reseller or he want to go straight to the customer, it's up to him. So it's a dual process, no? hindi na po uso yung nasa libro na sinasabi ng libro na retailer is yung mga bubili ng tingi-tingi. No, it's not like that. It's a different concept right now. Okay, a distributor can go straight to the immediate consumer. They can do that if they wanted to. But if they opted to have a reseller, a retailer in the area, like a sari-sari store or whatever, then it's their option. But the thing here, the idea here is that how you bring the product into your customers. I want you to always remember, here's the manufacturer, here's the customer, distribution works in the middle. Whatever the system is, it's up to you. Okay, the final paper that we have provided you guys, the what we call this, the distribution proposal, the distribution management proposal, work on it. Okay, because that's technically your job when you go outside. Okay, all right. So that is the concept, sir. What about a warehousing? So now, before, manufacturers have their own warehouse. They maintain it. Why? Because, for example, in North Luzon, and I don't have a distributor, I have a warehouse there. And I have a people there who will going to spread my product in North Luzon, and the product will be coming from the warehouse. So that it will not be coming from Manila all the time. Because that's too expensive. But what had happened right now, what the distributor, what the company is looking, if there's a distributor applying in North Luzon, so that distributor is the one to provide the warehouse. Okay? So, I'm now spare with the expenses. With the company, all the expenses are being taken out. It's being provided to the distributor. Now, that's why some distributors asking like 30% discount, 40% discount, for them to be able to cope up with the operations expense. So if say for example you provide 40%, and if you earn like 100 million, so 40 million will goes to your distributor and 60 million will goes to the company. But still, it's big. Plus, tanggalin mo yung sakit sa ulo because you're not the one distributing it. Okay? But that's always depends on the situation, on the product that you have. But right now, you know, that's what the trend right now, distributorship. Okay? So always remember, you have your PowerPoint with you. Look at the second PowerPoint that you have. So you have the supplier, you have the producer, you have the customer. That's the entire supply chain process. Now let's cut the supplier, let's cut the supplier's end, let's talk about manufacturer and the customer. And then let's work at the middle. That's distribution. Okay? So see you in my next video. I'll be continuously talking about distribution. Look at the module number 3, wherein we're talking about another concept of distribution management. See you guys.